Hello, my beautiful kingdom people. I just want to share with you a little bit of wisdom on today. Something that God has poured into me over the last few years is when we say yes to God's will, we have to question ourselves. Are we saying yes to God's perfect will, or are we saying yes to God's submissive will? And yes, there are two different wills when it comes to God. His perfect will is the plan that He has for our lives, exactly as He has written it and spoken it in heaven. His submissive will is when we keep begging and praying for God to answer our prayers and give us the things that we want, that He ends up giving in and giving us those things. When we say yes to God's perfect will, the only hardships that we'll have to go through is the building, the molding, the making, the developing, the preparing for it. When we give in to God's submissive will, when we ask for that, the hardships that we'll have to go through is beyond what God envisioned for us. We have to go through the things, the heartaches, the heartbreaks because of things that God had ordained for our lives. If we're asking God for this relationship to work and God is not in the relationship, we're going to have to go through that heartache in that relationship because God isn't in it. If we're asking God for a job that He didn't intend us to walk into, we're asking Him to open His door, then we're going to have to go through the heartache of that job. Things that He didn't intend for us, things that He didn't ordain for us. It wasn't a part of His will. But because we wanted it, we willed it into existence. Then we just added extra hardships on ourselves. So we have to begin to ask the question, do we want God's perfect will for our lives, or do we want His submissive will? Do we want to go through that extra hardship and pain and hurt because we refuse to say yes to whatever He has for us, for His perfect will? Remember that God has over 1 million ways to bring one word to pass. And if we're limiting Him because of what we want, because of what's in our heart's desires, because we didn't allow that transformation of our minds to align our desires and our wills with His to get His perfect will for our lives, we're giving in to our limited wills, our limited abilities. We're putting God in a box. We're not allowing Him to do abundantly what He can and what He desires for us because we're stuck here. So I'm just going to encourage you guys and just going to challenge you all. Let's start praying and submitting to God's perfect will for our lives because it's time for us to level up. Greatness is in store. Be blessed.